Hey guys, Jonathan Doe here. Welcome back to Cinema's Underbelly. Please excuse my appearance. I have a little black eye. I went and saw Nile and Sangusa Kabag last night and had a little too much fun in the pit. And I know you guys are excited for me to release my third and final entry in my home tour, which is going to be coming very soon. But today is Valentine's Day. Today is a day of love. And I figured, why not spend this time, giving some love to the underground, the people in our community who are doing some kick-ass work, people that I have personally worked with, people that I have a personal relationship with. And so that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. I'm going to be highlighting and talking about people that I think you guys should be paying attention to, people that I think you guys should be supporting. So if you want to hear about some kick-ass people and some kick-ass projects, stay tuned. Let's go. So everybody that I'm going to be mentioning in this video are people that I have worked directly with, people that I have professional relationships with, or people that I have a personal relationship with. And these are all people who are active within our community and who are doing kick-ass stuff. So go ahead and grab yourself a pen and paper and start writing these fucking names down, because these are people who are coming up or are already at the fucking top, who are doing badass work, and you want to know their fucking names. So first up on this list is Marcus Cook and Jesse Seitz. I made friends with them early on within me actually becoming like active within this community, and they are some of my oldest friends within the underground, and they are some amazing artists. They both are special effects artists. They've done amazing work in all kinds of different films, from stuff within the underground to stuff within the mainstream. And Marcus Cook, he directed the second entry in the American Guinea Pig series with his film Bloodshock. He made the film 100 Tears, and he also started his own anthology series with Symbolicus, which I'm featured in Volume 1. But Volume 2 is out right now, and I'm actually in the process of doing a viral video release for Volume 2 as well, so that's something to look out for. And then Jesse Seitz, she directed the film, the documentary Beyond Horror, which is this amazing showcase of figureheads within our community talking about extreme horror, extreme cinema. It's a very unique documentary, and it also won, I don't remember what year it was, maybe 2019, it won Best Documentary at Nightmares Film Festival. So that's a really, really good film. And she also is in charge of the anthology project Fucked, which is an anthology created completely, or consisting of just female horror directors. And so it's an all-female extreme horror anthology, and I'm going to be putting that out soon as well through Vile Video Productions. So those are both things that are definitely worth checking out. And they have a whole bunch of other things that they're doing that have no relationship to me, and they're just kicking ass. So those are people to pay attention to. Marcus Cook and Jesse Seitz. Write that shit down. Next is my good friend Felicia Fisher. My work would be nothing without her. Erotic grotesque nonsense would be nothing without her. Not only is she talented in the things that she does, but she just brings a personality to everything, all the work that she does. Like Barf Bunny would not be Barf Bunny without Felicia. The Degenerates would not be the Degenerates without Felicia. She is just an absolute professional, an absolute pro, and she's definitely going places. She's gonna be featured in Jesse Seitz' entry within the American Guinea Pig series with Chum Bucket. She's going to be featured in that. She's also going to be featured in another film coming out called Thrust, and she also has been featured in Hustler twice. She's just fucking kicking ass, and she is just skyrocketing to the top right now, and she's definitely worth someone worth paying attention to, someone worth working with, someone worth paying, and all of that stuff. And down here at the bottom I'll have links to her website, being able to contact her. She also does phone sex work. She also does custom videos. So there's all kinds of reasons to reach out to her and support her and give her money. She's just doing awesome things, and yeah, I have nothing but good things to say about Felicia. Next we have James Bell, who has become a major figurehead within the underground community. He has over 10 films under his belt within his filmography, all of which he's released through his company, Very Fine Crap Videos. And there's nothing like a James Bell film. There's no one else out there doing what he's doing. It's very unique, it's very fun, it's really interesting, and beyond being a filmmaker, he's also an amazing effects artist. He did the corpse for my film, The Degenerates. He also made the vagina mask for my short that was featured in Symbolicus, and he's just a good dude. After I sent him a copy of The Degenerates and he saw it, he looked online and he found out that where the Robert Beckwitz murder happened wasn't that too far away from him, and so he went and he got me dirt from the murder site and mailed it to me, which is like one of the most thoughtful gifts anyone's given me. Like, James is just such a good fucking dude, and he definitely deserves your fucking support. And so go check him out at veryfinecrapvideos.com and go buy something from him and give him some of your fucking money, because he deserves it. Next, we have Martin Trafford, who is an amazing artist. He has worked alongside York Berkerite and has done artwork for his films. He's done films for Mari and Dora. He's worked with Black Lava Entertainment, and he does all of the artwork for all of my Vile Video Productions releases. I can't say anything but great things about him. He's a good dude, he's a good friend, and he has an art style that is unlike anybody else. Like, when you look at it, you go, that is a Trafford piece, and his pieces are awesome, and he is a very well-respected artist within the underground. And if you are a filmmaker and you are looking, or whatever, if you're an author or you make content and you need cover art for it, hit up Martin Trafford. I'll put a link down below me right now. Check him out, support him. He kicks ass, and he definitely, like, I think that his art is almost kind of like an image of the underground. Like, you see that and you go, oh, that's a Martin Trafford piece, and it's fucking awesome, and Martin's awesome, so go support him. Next, I want to give a shout out to Mike Bracken, the horror geek. He and I got in communication with each other very early on with Cinema's Underbelly. I was under 1,000 subscribers at that point, and he kind of took me under his wing a little bit and was giving me a lot of tips and advice on how to be successful with YouTube. And I'm just like forever grateful about that. And he has a kick-ass channel called The Horror Geek, and it's just a lot of fun. He covers a lot of like video nasties, exploitation, splatter films, and he's definitely worth checking out. And he's just an overall good dude, you know. Like, I see him, he pays attention to what's going on within the horror YouTube community, and is very active, like commenting on really small YouTubers, and just has the same kind of mentality as me. Like, let's all try to push each other to the top and be successful. And I really love that about him, and that's the kind of energy that I like to see. I like to see people supporting each other. You know, we're all artists, we're all trying to fucking make it, and I think we all need to support each other. And Mike is just the type of guy that fuels this kind of shit. He's just a good dude. So yeah, go support The Horror Geek, go subscribe to him, he's awesome. Next, I want to give a big shout out to Robert, who runs cultcollectibles.org. He is a major figure within the murderabilia true crime collecting community, and honestly, like 90% of my murderabilia collection has come from Robert. He is an awesome guy, and Cult Collectibles fucking kicks ass. He just obtained the largest Jeffrey Dahmer collection I think available ever, and he got it directly from Lionel Dahmer, Jeffrey Dahmer's dad. And so there's just unbelievable pieces available right now on cultcollectibles.org. The one I'm most impressed by is he actually has the original psychological evaluation documents from Jeffrey Dahmer, as well as like old school projects that Jeffrey Dahmer did as a kid, all kinds of crazy stuff. But beyond that, there's all kinds of stuff that you can get. Stuff from cults, like the Heaven's Gate cult, stuff related to different serial killers. There's a whole bunch of Richard Ramirez stuff on there right now. And he's just a fucking kick-ass guy. Go support cultcollectibles.org. I got nothing but great things to say about him. And he's awesome. And he's really into horror as well. Like, he sells a lot of horror stuff on his site as well. And he's also, on Cult Collectibles, he's released a lot of very obscure serial killer kind of related, or cannibal kind of related media that isn't really available anywhere else. Like behind me, oh, you can't see it, but I have a really rare copy of juvenile crime related to the Junko Furuta murder that happened, and I bought that from his site. So he's awesome. If you're into horror, if you're into true crime, if you're into murderabilia, go check out cultcollectibles.org. Next, I want to give a big shout out to Nico Klaus. Nico Klaus is a murderer and cannibal who served time in prison, and he's out now, and he runs a true crime website called Serial Pleasures. And not only does he sell like murderabilia things, I actually bought a Armin Maivis fork from him, as well as I got a hand stencil and stuff from him. But he also does other things, like he has a really cool merch line of t-shirts from different serial killers. He does paintings, and he also has an adult toy series that he's running. He's got a human femur bone dildo inspired by Ted Bundy. He's got a cross dildo that's inspired by Richard Ramirez, and he recently just came out with a Pogo the Clown butt plug. So he's doing a lot of really fun, interesting kind of stuff. I had him on my podcast to talk to him about his experiences and stuff, and so that's also something that's really interesting to check out. But yeah, go check out Serial Pleasures, go support Nico. He's doing some really, really cool stuff within the realm of murderabilia. Next, I want to give a shout out to all of the different podcasts that have had me on their show to promote my work, to talk about filmmaking, to talk about extreme horror. I want to give a big shout out to the Sick on Cinema podcast, a big shout out to the Quality Violent Cinema podcast, Morbid Horror podcast, the Bones and Brews podcast, the Postmortem Show horror movie podcast, and lastly, the Butcher Bordello of Blood podcast. Blade and Butcher are good friends of mine, and Butcher is actually the vocalist of a power violence band called Grip Hook, who just actually had a new record come out. But they wrote a song for my film, The Degenerates, and there's a music video for that on the Degenerates DVD that I just put out right now. But if you are a big fan of power violence and music centered around horror movies, because all of their songs are centered around horror movies, then go check out Grip Hook and go check out the Butcher Bordello of Blood podcast. They're great guys, and I love what they're doing. And then I also want to support and give a shout out to the different YouTubers, the YouTuber horror community who have helped me out. I want to give a big shout out to Horror Reviews. He reached out to me. He's like, honestly, like the OG when it comes to like horror YouTubers. He's been in the game for like a decade, and he did this really awesome collab where he reached out to basically everyone within our community, big and small, and had us all be a part of this huge collaboration, which is like exactly what I love to see, you know, that we're all supporting each other and all that kind of stuff. And so he had smaller YouTubers like me, as well as super big people like Spooky Rice on as well. So people from like less than 1,000 subs to people who are in the hundreds of thousands of subs on there, and that was just a beautiful, awesome fucking thing to see. So go check out that collaboration if you haven't, and go support him if you haven't. If you haven't, I'd be fucking shocked. But Horrible Reviews is a great fucking guy. I also had him on my podcast if you want to check that out as well. He's fucking killer. Also want to give a shout out to Spooky Rice. Him and I have never actually talked to each other, but he has given me a shout out multiple times on his channel, and he is like the biggest horror YouTuber there is, and it's really cool to know that he's paid attention to me. That's really cool. So shout out to you, Spooky Rice. Thanks for all the support. It fucking means everything. I want to give a shout out to Plagued Moth. We both kind of interact with each other on and off on Twitter, and it's cool that we're like kind of on each other's radar and are kind of like on the sidelines, like supporting each other and all that kind of stuff. So he seems like a cool guy. I really like the kind of stuff that he's doing, and I just like the interactions that we have. So thanks, bro. Next is Steven Bloodworth. He's a homie of mine. He's also a YouTuber, and he used to work for Brain Damage Films and actually has a good relationship with Darren Ramage, who made the Traces of Death series. And he got me in contact with Darren Ramage and had him on my podcast, and it was really awesome. So I really want to thank Steven for all of that, and also go check out his stuff. He's reviewed a lot of my work, and he covers a lot of extreme underground stuff. So if you're interested in that, then definitely go check out his channel. And then the last two YouTubers that I want to cover is Spooky Celluloid and Steve's Horror Cave. They're smaller channels, but they have really like paid a lot of attention to my work and said really great things, and they're both really great content creators, and I would love to see them blow up. So write down Spooky Celluloid and Steve's Horror Cave. They are fucking awesome guys, and they've got awesome content, and they're definitely worth checking out. And lastly, I want to thank the filmmakers who have given me the honor of putting out their work through my Vile Video series. First is Renee Wisner. Honestly, I started Vile Video because of Renee. He is basically single-handedly the only person who's keeping the Mondo genre alive. I released his films, Pulp Films, Mondo Siam, and most recently, Michael, A Murderabilia Memoriam. And he's out there traveling the world and shooting all kinds of stuff in old school traditional Mondo style. And the really cool thing is, Mondo cinema is notorious for being exploitative, and he's keeping the genre alive, keeping the aesthetic alive, but eliminating the xenophobic and ethnocentric attitudes that used to exist in old Mondo films that used to be problematic, and he's doing them in a very respectful and I think beautiful and haunting way. And that's why I love putting out his work, and he's like literally the only person that I know who's keeping this genre alive. Everyone's focusing on bullshit like mixtapes and stuff, but you don't see a lot of people other than like Kiyotaka Surasaki and Renee Wisner are the only two people that I can think of who are actually going out in the world and actually shooting original footage, highlighting these darker corners of the world. So I definitely recommend you go check out the work of Renee Wisner. He's fucking killer. He's awesome, and I just interviewed him for my podcast, and that will be coming out very soon. The next filmmaker that I want to highlight is Patrick Fortin. I released his film Carnival of Gore, but he has gone on and done all kinds of other stuff. He has a whole series called the Cat Call series, and he's from Canada, and he is just making some of the most gory, splatter, fun films out there, and he just released his newest entry within the Cat Call series. So definitely go check out his work. It's really fun, it's really cool. Go look at the trailer for Carnival of Gore. That's out of print, at least through Vile Video Productions, but that'll give you a taste of the kind of stuff that he's doing. And he's also another person who's just making something unique and different. You know, there's nothing like a Patrick Fortin film. And so he's another person within the underground I think that is worth paying attention to. And lastly, I want to thank you guys. Honestly, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you. The fact that this channel has reached where it is awesome. The fact that my films are as successful as they are is awesome. And I wouldn't be anywhere, none of this would be possible if it wasn't for you guys. I love you guys. Thank you. Thank you for supporting the underground. Thank you for supporting independent filmmaking. You guys are the reason why this is alive, and it's awesome. So that's my love. I love you all. Happy Valentine's Day. Stay putrid. See you later. Peace.